Howdy howdy loom golders. I'm back in the maxi cut, the super cut, mega cut, whatever you want to call it. I'm getting towards the end of this part of it. It's been a huge thing, but you can see it's quite a massive thing. There's the wall out there. That's probably, it's 7, 8, 9 meters at the bottom. Right up there, got the excavator down in here now, doing some cleaning out, scratching the bottom, getting rid of the pillars. I just pulled this right here, right where basically where that shadow is running actually, is an area where when you get to the bottom, you came off this side, had heaps of good gold, and you came down, hit this pipe clay, and there was a little channel here where the best gold must have been, but the old timers had got on it and just run a drive all the way from here all the way through, just eating it all the way up. Took the whole lot basically, and you can see like there's old timbers floating around still, and there's been plenty of timbers, but they were down in here, and they took a good go at the best gold, the best run, and it seemed like ultimately that run was pretty narrow, and so we missed out on a lot of that. So they did we didn't get it all, that's for sure. They got a fair whack of some of the best creamy stuff. And down in here I just had a really hard target. It was pretty screamy. I thought if it was just sort of in a bit of dirt at the front here, and it was it's a bit of old file or broken off bit of steel down in there, and I wasn't very confident that was going to be. It was very loud, and I thought, oh, it'd be awesome, but I wasn't confident. But right next to it, right here, is something that looks like it must be just next to where they did the drive. And it's pretty noisy. So let's have a go. I'll dig this out and come back and show you what it is. Okay, so that ended up being a pocket. And it was pretty loud, but it was a bunch of nuggets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, I think there. And they're all shiny because I put the first couple in my mouth for safekeeping, and it just kept going. And in fact, I've had to stop because there's it's turned into a pocket, and there's more nugget sounds coming out further down, and they sound all right. So I just thought, oh, I can't store 20 in my mouth. So that's what's come out so far, and I'll put them in the jar, and then I'll check this. So here's the sounds that are still lurking. There's sort of one in there, but there's a warbly one in there. So this is, I haven't even detected the rest of all this. So this is, it could just start to get a bit creamy here, just at this last little bit. I was sort of hoping it would in this corner, but it's been a bit lame over through here, so I wasn't quite sure. Anyway, let me dig some, and hopefully there's a big one here somewhere. In this area, the rainbow gravels are generally a good sign that you're getting close to the gold, although there's some areas where they don't pay. But the rainbow slates are the real deal. And in particular, what I call the demented slates, demented rainbow slates. So have a look here. This is the rainbow colours. I've described it many times, so you can really see it here. There's just, you got your whites, you got your red, maroni, ironstone rocks. You've got the yellow clays, and it really is a very rainbow colour. And those deep reds are really interesting. But here you can see these slates, right? So it's where the slates go in all different directions. So they stick up. Look, this stuff's vertical, it's coming straight up. Other stuff's sort of laid over at an angle. All right, sort of flat. You look at the colours. So I don't really know, I want to describe the rainbow colours or whatever, whether people can really understand just how colourful it is. But maybe this little bit of footage and showing you these demented slates gives you an idea of where I start to really look for the gold. Now I've just spent, so on the edge of this here, I've been in here now a couple of hours, probably got, there's probably it's probably 10, 12, maybe 14 grams, something like that. So getting towards half an ounce for a couple of hours. There's an old timer pit post there. But yeah, all coming out of this edge where it bonds, where the demented slates sort of finally give out into the white fine slate, which is like a pipe clay, this stuff here. So but yeah, look, here it is here, that same stuff I'm talking about, the demented slates, all different angles, all different colours. Right, so there's the really, it's sort of white on top there, but then it's black. And then right next to it, you got this deep coloured ironstone rock, and you know, quartz banded ironstones. And then here's another, you know, here's burnt slate, and here's a black slate again. And then up here, what do we got here? You know, that's quartz, but it's sort of, and there's this smoky slate. So I'm no geologist, although one day I expect that I'll spend a bit more time really understanding these rocks and proper terminologies and things. But anyway, for now, they're my terms. And you can see what I mean. So I'm going to keep digging. So that's what that area looks like after I've come through and bulldozed it, moonscaped it. It's one of the few things, the demented rainbow slates always have gold in them. The rainbow rocks, the rainbow gravels, don't always have gold in them, but when you get down to this stuff, it always does. Good morning, Loom Golders. It's another sparkling day in Queensland. And I'm just about towards the end of this giant cut that I was been working on for a number of months now. And it's pretty substantial. Have a look. That's a 33-ton machine down in there. So it's a big machine. It gives you some idea of the size of this cut. That back wall over there is probably 7 meters or so, top to bottom. And you know, I've didn't find a lot of gold up in that section, and I've just been finding a little bit more just here at the end. I'm going to be going down to finish this little corner off. Then all this, it's half of it's pay, half of it's just spoil, needs to be moved up to the appropriate piles. And then there is a bit of a corner in there that we may still dig, right? Because it looks like the gold is sort of starting to run that way a bit now. So there might be a little bit more to go in here, and then I have to sort of reshape this and then get this spoil out here and get some of that pay out that's been stirred up in the bottom. So there's a bit more to do, but it's sort of getting to the point where, you know, if it started to rain and it started to get water in it, you know, I wouldn't be overly stressed about, you know, leaving a lot of good material behind in there. So that's sort of where I wanted to get to, and it feels like that's where I'm at. So yes, there'll be a final sort of stage and wrap up on this area. This area is still going to be very active. There's a huge amount of pay over the back now. There would be, that's all pay, but you can see there in the distance, that's one giant pay pile that's come out there. I don't know, I think there's 1,000 ton there. Yeah, there's a lot of material in that now. So yep, all right, that's a little brief. So I was describing being over in there, finishing off that corner, but I sort of knew that I had this really creamy area here, and I'd left quite a bit of solid ground, and I want to leave solid ground underneath this spoil to act as a bit of a key if it fills with water. But I knew that I had a few meters in there, so I thought worthwhile taking that edge off, and I sort of replaced that edge, put it over the back. So effectively we've got this road here now. It actually straightens it nicely, sort of pushes it sort of straight through now, which then runs all the way up to the dump up there for the pay layer. So it's worked well. There's a big void on this side as well. That probably we'll have to work out what happens there, because all the pay's been taken out of that. So there is a few voids around that will need to be sorted out, recontoured, whatever. But this road is now pretty solid going through to there, and I'm going to go down and take the excavator down in here now, clean that up, and I do believe that little area there could be pretty juicy based on what happened in the past. So we'll see. The little hurrah out of this big mega void could be quite good. The old timers had a good crack through this area, and there's many tunnels. I've probably showed this before, but you can see this is a good example. I've broken the tops off these as I've been going, but here's the old props, the props in the bottom of their drives, and they're not a nice straight line there, 1, 2, 3, and I've taken the ones out on this side, but you can see here's one here. So that's the width. So that would have been running parallel through there. That's the width from there to there of their drive there. Now there was another one running. Is that some there? Yeah, there was another one that ran straight this way, and cut right up along through here. So you know, they sort of zigzag across the bottom chasing these runs, and I've taken their fair share in some of these juicy spots. So yep, certainly have to share it with the old boys. That gold is melted down. It's probably sitting in a vault in New York or London or China or something. It's gone into the masses of gold probably 120 years ago. I've just got to take what they left me. So here's an example of some of that old timer prop timber that's popped out of the ground. So it's been white anted out. So the white ants get down into it in the ground, because they obviously wouldn't have used white anted timber. All right, so you can see the white ants have found it in the ground, chewed it out, and then because it's a sort of a hollow, moist area, you can see all the fibrous tree roots where the big trees have sent that down, and so yeah, it's amazing sort of bits of timber that come out. I have to admit, so I found these before, but I have to admit, when I first found them here, I'd found bits of timber sticking out of the strata on the way down, and they were like a flood timber. So they were sort of deep in the strata, a number of meters down, and they were sort of sitting at different angles, and they looked like driftwood. And then when I got to the bottom, I found these vertical pieces that were sort of all driftwoody and gnarled and just weren't that solid. And I thought, this can't be old timer timber. It's so deep, and I thought it was some sort of ancient driftwood. When I first found it in this spot, it looked different to where I'd seen it before. But subsequently, I've found a lot more of these runs, of course, and determined that yes, it's just the way that it deteriorates in the ground, and it makes it look like that. So yeah, but it's quite interesting. Some of it's really still solid and good as well. Could be quite interesting to carve or make a sculpture or something out of. But of course I don't have time for all that. It's just thoughts that run through my head. But there you go, that's some old timer timber if anyone's interested. They're popping out of here pretty thick, sort of this size and bigger. Not a bad morning. Been cleaning up this mega cut. Worked in one spot over there, and I've been working in a spot where I've taken this sort of bit of a scarf off the edge of the wall here, and it's been pretty good. So it's because of the angle, actually taken the soil off, the layers off pretty evenly, like all the way down the slope, because actually the excavator's on an angle. So the camera's level, the excavator's not, right? So, and that's actually helping out in this situation, which has worked pretty good. And that's why I didn't adjust the track position, because I thought it might work. And I picked out a lot of good nuggets. Tally's getting up, and have a listen to this one. It was a bit of a whisper on top, and it's sort of got a bit of an inverted tone. Sounded like this a minute ago, and then I took a scratch. Doesn't mean it's going to be huge, but I've been pulling out some pretty decent nuggets, and I thought maybe I'll just film this one. So how am I going to set it up? Because I'm never really organised. So what I'll do is I will set it up here and then we'll film it. Oh, may you go deep, little nugget. Keep sounding inverted for another foot or so. That'd be nice. It's got that almost, it's pretty much a demented slate bottom, I think. There's a bit of it around here. Just some normal slates as well, but it's pretty tough ground still. I've dug them all out today with the pick. I probably should have had the jackhammer. Oh, it's getting down now. Whew. Right. Ooh. Can't really see into the hole there. I'm wondering whether I might be able to get a bit more flash and set it up here somewhere so you can see it a bit better. Yeah, of course there's no tripod. Left it somewhere. Oh, I might pause this, come back. Well, it's getting down there. I'm getting hungry, I'm getting thirsty. But I'm getting closer to a big nugget, I think. Oh, it's hard. Oh, what's that? There it is there. Not that big. God, it's 6,000. If that's it, it's only like a 3 grammer. I thought I was heading towards a 10 grammer there. Yeah, there it is. I'll just double check the hole. Well, that is definitely it, but that's a 6,000 for you. It's always tricksy when it comes to trying to work out the size of a nugget, because sometimes they just sound, bear with me, what is this stuff popping up on the screen? It wants to do it. I just want to press that. Hold on. Yeah, it's a pretty little nugget for sure. I say little, it's yeah, I'd say somewhere between 2.8 and 3.3. It's a bit of chunk to it for sure. 6,000 heard it there down a fair way. It's a bit of a hole. But I thought I was heading towards probably a 8 or 10 grammer by the sound of it, but I've got nothing. It sounds, the 6,000 just does me in all the time. Well, it is getting late in the day. It's a beautiful part of the day. I always love it. And this little scrape here is still going. I'm down on the slates and it's really hard. I'm doing it manually rather than getting a machine to help me, as in a jackhammer. So it's taking a little bit longer. I thought before it gets too dark, I will just show you the gold, just to wrap it up, because everyone wants to see the gold. I think there's some really nice nuggets in there, like just good Just not massive, not super massive, but not really little, just build up all day. I've been working at it. Chip, 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 and I'd say I'm not quite the target, my target being an ounce every day. I would say that's probably 27, 28, 29, something like that, maybe a couple of grams off. But have a look at this, have a listen to this. This could be getting me over. One there and one's blanking out there. So I'll fish these out, and if they're any good, I'll give you a look at them too. Okay, here's this one sitting in situ. Right there, can you see it? Wow. If I can actually get it to stay there. This, I don't know what I'm doing with this phone at the moment. It's got some sort of setting that's mucking me up. There you go. And that one is a solid 2 grammer. So that will in fact get me pretty close to that Oz. I've got a little bit more time here. I've got probably enough time to finish this off and do another scrape, which also will get me over the line. Happy days, happy, happy scratchy.